Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for another one of our mass making sessions. We are up to week number 220, would you believe? So yes, for anyone who doesn't watch my channel, we are doing reruns. So we are rerunning week number 20. We did week number 120 and now we're doing week number 220. So what are we making today? We are making fabric paper clips. So what are you going to need? I'll show you all the things that I've brought along. So I've got some pinking shears here. I've also got some normal scissors. You don't need to have pinking shears. Normal scissors are absolutely fine too. I've got some 3-in-1, which is a kind of, predominantly fabric-y, fabric glue. And I've also got my hot glue gun, which I love to use. So that's my glues, that's my scissors. And then, of course, what I've got is fabrics and paper clips. Now, I've put these little packs together because for the last couple of weeks, I've been putting packs together of the things that we've actually been using in the mass making. And I've had feedback that you find that really nice and really great to be able to kind of like go on and, purchase kind of sets of what we've been using. So the sets contain fabric. So if you're using your own items, obviously fabric. I've got paper clips, so if you were to buy one of these sets, you'll get a little pack with it's scraps of lace and some paper clips. There might be some sari silk in there. All of the packs are obviously slightly different, but you're going to get random, pieces of lace, maybe some sari silk, things like that, to trim off your fabric paper clips. You're then going to get one of the fabric packs. These are also individually available on my website, but if you were to buy this pack, obviously you get one of those. And then you're going to get what I would call like the embellishment pack. Now, again, these are kind of odds and ends. So, you may have little bits of trim and things like that, little flowers and things, but just things that you're going to be able to decorate your paper clips. So if you're making with your own items and not purchasing a pack, the main piece you're going to need, or the main item, is obviously fabric and is your paper clips. Now, if you were to purchase one of these kits, you get 20 paper clips. So I'm going to just open up my packs and kind of tip things out. So let's just tip out the paper clips first. So you get 20 of the paper clips. Now, I opt to use, when I make these kind of fabric paper clips, I opt to use, these are like just under 2-inch paper clips. So they're not your really tiny ones. These are 2-inch ones. And they happen to be this kind of goldy colour. I'm not using my rusted paper clips that we did the rusting a few weeks ago, only because, to be honest, getting the fabric onto the paper clips can be a little bit kind of fiddly anyway. So the rusting technique that we used, it was actually, what's the word, dimensional, where it had kind of lumpy bits. So it would just make the fabric a little bit trickier to get on. So I thought the plain, normal paper clips was probably the best way to go. And then, of course, the fabric. So, oh my goodness. So, and again, obviously, I must reiterate, if you buy one of these sets, all the bits are going to be different. So just, the fabrics I'm using, you may not definitely get these particular combination of fabrics. But obviously, you can see you only need pretty tiny little scraps of fabric. They're going to be absolutely perfect because obviously, to make a paper clip, you only need a very tiny piece of fabric. So you're going to need some fabric. So let's get kind of making one or two. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take down my fabrics. So I'll just kind of show you how to make one, I think, at first, and then we'll probably kind of go on to a bit more assembly line styling. Obviously, the fact I'm only making one, that's because they're so very, very simple to make. I don't think you'll need showing more than one. I mean, I just overestimate constantly how wide things like this need to be. I mean, you can see there, I've massively overestimated that. Let's just see. Yeah, okay. So literally, you're going to take your fabric and you're just going to thread it on to your paper clip. Now, there probably is like a really neat way of doing this. I'm not particularly neat at anything. So yeah, me finding that particularly great way of doing it is unlikely. But anyway, eventually, suddenly it just seems to hook on. So that's going to be your fabric paper clip. I'm going to then use my hot glue for this because the hot glue is instant And then I don't have to worry about, you know, is it kind of glued together? I just know that it is. So I just put it as close as I can to the actual paperclip piece itself. And then obviously glue it down. Now I've cut my fabric quite long, so there was quite a bit overhanging at the back. So you probably noticed I put quite a bit of glue on there so as to, you know, glue this together nicely. Obviously, you could just have a much smaller piece of fabric there. It was only that I happened to, you know, to cut it quite long. So that's your basic fabric paperclip. And then obviously you can decorate that. So I would kind of just maybe put some lace on or some trim or something. So just using my little pack that I've got. I mean, how pretty is that, to be honest? So I'll just take that, maybe cut the header piece down like that. Just pop that on there. I've got my Fabri-Tac. I quite like to use the you know, the Fabri-Tac for gluing the bits and pieces on. Oops, like that. I've got my dried wet wipe that I can just press things down like that. And then should we put some bling or something on there? So I'll just see here in my little embellishment pack. Oh, I have got this. I've got this flower which I could use on there. What do we think? Not sure. I might use that on a later one. Oh, I've got these green bows. Like I say again, I must keep saying this. All the packs are going to be different. So, you know, whatever I'm using here, you might not necessarily get in, you know, in your pack if you choose to purchase a pack. But I mean, how gorgeous does that look? So I'll just glue the bow like that. Like that. How pretty does that look? Absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? And that's it. That's all there is to making those. And then of course you can just, oops, clip that onto a page. And I'm going to pull in a piece of paper just to show you. Obviously this is not going to be, not going to go really at all, but just to show you how it would look. So obviously you'll clip like that onto that page. How pretty does that look? So yeah, that's all we're going to be doing. So I'm going to kind of assembly line this, and by assembly lining I'm going to kind of cut the pieces of fabric first and then glue them and then decorate them. So let's just kind of take my fabrics, and to be honest, I could probably do it this way round because obviously that one was very long. So I'm just going to cut them down like that, and then I'll get a bit more, oops, a bit more from my fabric. Although to be honest, like I said, you don't really need huge bits of fabric to get quite a few anyway, but let's just cut it down like that. Okay, so yeah, we'll just kind of assembly line these and have a relaxing hour now, and just to catch up and yeah, hang out and have a nice time. So I hope everybody's week has started out well and that you're all doing well. For those people who watch my channel, you'll know that I generally generally film these videos on a Monday to go up. I'm going to put them like this so they're sort of ready, because otherwise, of course, I'm going to sort of run out of space. So to go up for you guys on the Tuesday. So my week has literally only just started, and yeah, I hope that you guys have all had a good start to your week. So first thing really that I really want to say is the sad news about lovely Rhonda. So Rhonda Winstead, which I'm sure that most of you guys, you know, probably know of Rhonda. She was obviously part of our lovely junk journal community that we have here on YouTube. And yeah, for anyone who didn't see, her husband had posted a video, and I just would like to say a massive thank you, because I was messaged by, oh, let me double check that I'm getting the name right, because I don't want to misquote somebody. Hold on a second, let me just pull up the message so that I make sure that, okay, so by the lovely Jenfer. So yeah, just wanted to check that I didn't say the wrong name. Yeah, I was messaged by the lovely Jenfer, because unfortunately I hadn't actually seen the message by Rhonda's husband. So Rhonda Winstead, her lovely husband, he posted the sad video to announce that Rhonda had sadly passed away. So for anybody who doesn't know Rhonda, she had been battling with cancer for, I think it was about 4 years altogether. And she, yeah, I mean, she really was so courageous and so brave in her battle. You know, she continued obviously with her YouTube channel and, you know, was a really lovely full part of our community and things. And there must have been days where, of course, she must have felt ill and dreadful and, you know, not really felt like posting at all. But she always was still, you know, still posting and still, you know, still making wonderful videos. And she, yeah, she did lovely work. And yeah, and but more than that, to be honest, she was always so upbeat and so positive. And yeah, she faced her, you know, her cancer battle with, well, just such bravery, to be honest. I mean, right to the end. I mean, you know, I saw her last video and, you know, I mean, she presumably must have been feeling dreadful at that point. You wouldn't have known that. She still, you know, still put on her brave face. She still had her same wonderful way about her. And, you know, yeah, just was, yeah, just a wonderful, wonderful lady. And, I mean, her bravery, I just think is, wow, like unprecedented kind of thing, because, yeah, she never once was complaining. She never once kind of, you know, yeah, she just continued just in the most amazing way. So, yeah, very, very, very sad news that was, to obviously hear that. And, yeah, sending massive hug and, you know, or hugs and love and things to her family and, you know, all of her kind of dear close friends and things like that. So she will be so sadly missed in our community. And yeah, just really, really sad. And of course, her lovely husband, I mean, he said in his video that they had, you know, they'd planned for him to do a video, you know, when she passed away. I'm just going to glue these down now, just because I'm going to run out of space otherwise on my desk. So I'm just going to do a sort of midway gluing point before I, you know, go on with making some more. Yeah, her lovely husband, and he said that they'd obviously discussed it and, you know, said that he would obviously do an announcement video. And I mean, that must have been incredibly hard for him. And, you know, again, he, just like Rhonda, did a very dignified and lovely video. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure that that was probably the last thing that he was feeling like doing. But, you know, he obviously, you know, they'd already planned it, and he, you know, did it and did a wonderful job. So yeah, very, very sad news. And obviously, like I say, Rhonda will be very sadly missed, you know, by us all here. So, and I noticed that there's been 1 or 2 obviously like tribute videos already going out to Rhonda. So yeah, and as soon as I get a chance, I will do a video kind of just honouring her, really, and honouring her life and, yeah, what she kind of meant to us all. So I'm sure that you'll all, you know, oh gosh, now look, I put that round the wrong way. I'm sure that you will all join me in, you know, wishing her a, you know, fond farewell kind of thing in her, you know, next journey, whatever happens after we leave this place. So yeah, Rhonda, if you are looking down at all, just know that, you know, you will be so sadly missed. And, you know, we all are in awe of your incredibly brave battle that you demonstrated with just such, yeah, dignity and bravery, really. So you were an inspiration, and you will be very missed. So yeah. Anyway, so that was very sad, sad news. So I'm just going to trim this off at the bottom because it looks a bit wonky. I have not made a good job of cutting that, so I'm better off just having it shorter rather than just, you know, tapering in at the bottom. So yeah, that was the sad news. Let's move on to something more cheery. So what have I been up to since last week? What have I been up to? So I had my school reunion. I think I did talk about this last week in my video. So yeah, I was going to a school reunion on Saturday. So yeah, oh, I've got a funny story about that. So obviously, you know, I was going to see people that I hadn't seen for like 30 years. I mean, I think I said in the video, I'm in contact with 1 or 2 people, and you know, so there's 1 or 2 people that I had seen obviously since leaving school, but I mean, obviously there were people that I hadn't seen since leaving school. So of course, you know, in times like this, you want to kind of try and look your best, don't you? Because, you know, you're going to be seeing all these people you haven't seen for years. So of course, all week, you know, I'd been trying to have a really healthy diet, you know, so that I wasn't having like an outbreak of spots or, you know, anything like that. I was putting on all my anti-wrinkle cream and, you know, trying to hopefully, you know, be looking my best. Oh my goodness. So the reunion was going to be on, well, it was on Saturday. So on Thursday, Natalie came round to work, you know, work with me. And when she arrived, you know, she always arrives and then, she, you know, she comes in and we'll have a cup of tea and she has a coffee and we have a quick catch up, you know. So she came in and I said, oh, would you like a coffee? Now, I'm not a coffee drinker. So my coffee is up kind of high, you know, because nobody really drinks it other than, you know, Natalie, or if other people come around who happen to drink coffee. So it's up high on the shelf. So I said, oh, do you want a coffee? And as I said it, I'm, you know, reaching for the coffee canister. Now, I don't know how honestly this happened, but the coffee canister is on a shelf above my kettle. So, you know, I have to reach up a little bit. I don't know honestly how it happened, but for some, or how, you know, some reason, I dropped the coffee canister. Now, whether it bounced or whether it slid out of my hand, I have no idea. Natalie tried to kind of, you know, recreate what had happened afterwards when we were laughing and said, how on earth that happened is beyond me. Do you know what happened? I hit myself in the eye with, you know, like the bottom of the coffee canister. It's a metal, you know, metal tea, coffee and sugar jar, you know. So it hit myself in the eye with this metal coffee canister right here on the, you know, on the edge and right on my kind of eye socket bone. Oh my goodness. I mean, obviously it really hurt. I had to get frozen blueberries out the freezer to put on my eye for a few minutes. Frozen blueberries just because, you know, who knows where my frozen peas were, but blueberries were the first thing that I kind of spotted and thought, they'll do, quick, get those. It really hurt. And I said to Natalie, oh my goodness, I'm now going to have a black eye for the school reunion. I mean, of all the times to get a black eye. Sure enough, I then had a black eye. Now, I have to say, thank the Lord, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, that was on Thursday. So Friday, well, it came out straight away in a sort of lump. So I had a bit of a lump. I might try and thread a couple of these through at the same time to be a bit more efficient. So it came out in a lump, like a little lump with a bit of a, yeah, I must have kind of cut it a little bit. So it had a bit of a sort of cut and it felt swollen, you know, so it was a bit swollen up. And, it looked a little bit red. And then, of course, by the next day, so by Friday, the lump was still there. The cut was, you know, bit gone down, sort of not too bad. But of course, by this point, it was starting to bruise. And I saw my mum and dad, you know, on Friday. And I said to my mum what happened and just was laughing and said, you know, of all the weeks for this to happen, can you believe it? You know, people are going to be thinking I've been beaten up, you know. And my mum laughed. She said, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if that bruises a bit more yet. Well, of course, you can guess what happened. So by Saturday, it had a sort of quite purpley look. I mean, the swelling had gone down completely. But yeah, it was quite sort of purpley. And I just thought, are you kidding me? Of all the time, you know, times for this to happen, it's happened on my school reunion when I was trying to make myself look, you know, look my best. I've put this over to one side because I obviously cut this a little bit narrow. So I might put some lace just running down the edge of there. This one also, maybe I've cut a bit narrow, so I might do the same with this. Oh, again, I've threaded it through the wrong side. What an idiot. Yeah, anyway, I just thought of all the weeks for that to happen. I mean, you know, I'm trying to think if I've ever had a black eye before. And I don't want to even say no, because who knows? Might end up with another one yet. You know, no doubt I'll drop something else and end up with another one. But yeah, I just thought of all the weeks for that to happen. You know, when I'm trying to look my best, and now I've got a flipping black eye. So obviously I covered it up, you know, with makeup. So that was all fine. But yeah, I just thought, oh my goodness. And although it was covered up, you know, I mean, it did cover up, you know, massively with the makeup. It was still visible, you know, you could still see it. So it wasn't fully covered up. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was good enough. But, you know, I did feel like when I was sat kind of at a table, like with people, you know, who were going to be able to see me for more than like a few minutes, I did feel the need to obviously say, oh, what had happened, because I didn't want anyone just thinking I had a black eye. Well, I mean, I did have a black eye, but I didn't want anyone thinking that, you know, it was there for any other sinister kind of reason. So, yeah, just thought, oh my goodness. I mean, honestly, you couldn't make it up. And I said to Natalie, thank goodness you were here, because it was such a ridiculously far-fetched thing to happen. You know, like I say, she even picked up the jar, you know, from the shelf herself when we were laughing about it, and said, how did you even do that? Because she was stood there, and she was obviously, you know, from the worktop surface, quite a way out from the jar. So she was kind of like, how did that even happen? Because actually, the jar's like not even in your line of fire, you know. I said, I've no idea. You know, I don't know to this day. I don't know whether it dropped and bounced or whether it dropped and hit me on its way down. I'm not really too sure. But yeah, we were just laughing. But I said to her, oh, thank goodness you were here, because it's the type of thing that, you know, like I would tell people and they'd be like, really? You know, that sounds like a strange thing to have happened. So, yeah. Thank goodness she was here and witnessed it. But anyway, I mean, touch wood, today it's much less. You know, I mean, too late now. But yeah, today it's much less than it was. So it is kind of clearing up now quite a bit. So yeah, not too bad. But anyway, I just thought of all the weeks. That's just absolutely typical, isn't it? Anyway, aside from that, so I must not now just go on about my black eye, but aside from that, it was such a nice evening, and unfortunately the weather wasn't brilliant. Actually, I'm not going to do this one just because I don't want them all looking the same, so I'm just going to glue these and then I'll cut a couple of other fabrics. Otherwise I've got, because I was trying not to end up with sort of lots of odds of scraps, but now they're all going to obviously look similar, so that's a bit boring, isn't it? Yeah, I was hoping for nice weather, you know, like to be able to wear like a nice summer dress and, you know, have a nice time. Oh, it was rubbish weather at the weekend, to be honest. It was sort of drizzly during the day. I mean, it did kind of cheer up a little bit in the evening, to be fair, but yeah, it was quite drizzly, quite rubbish, quite cold, not great. Yesterday, the weather was even colder, I would say, to be honest, but yeah, very disappointing. I don't think we're going to get any kind of summer this year at this rate, but never mind. So anyway, yeah, it was so lovely to see people. So, I mean, like I said, I mean, actually, I have seen some of those people, you know, in the time since we left school. But there were people, of course, that I hadn't seen. So it was really lovely to see them. And, you know, people looked really well and things. So, yeah, it was really, really nice. I mean, to be honest, my school, you know, the school that it was my, obviously, high school. And it's like 10 miles probably from where I live. But you know what it's like once you leave school, you know, even though you all kind of say, oh, yeah, we'll keep in touch, Actually, you often don't, do you? And, yeah, just, you know, even though some of those people do only live like, you know, like I said, 10 miles away, strangely never seen some of them since I left school. So, and funnily enough, I mean, some of them were saying they still live in the same village, you know, where the school was. So, I mean, they're like 0 miles away from where the school was. And literally, they said they still haven't seen some of the people. So, I mean, it's weird, isn't it, how life is like that? But I think we're all just kind of, you know, busy, and, you know, life takes over and things like that, doesn't it? So, yeah, but it was nice. So, and you know, we all met in a pub, and we did go outside, or, you know, we were outside the majority of the time. It was one of those things where actually, if you were in the pub, it was quite noisy. If you were out the pub, it was quite cold. So it was like, take your pick. You can either be noisy, you know, in the noisiness, in the noisy environment, or you can be in the cold. And yeah, we opted for the cold. So, because at least you could actually hear what you were chatting about then. But yeah, it was good fun. So that was a late night for me. I'm just kind of lining these up again so that I've, you know, can do it a little bit more assembly lining. It was a bit of a late night for me. I got home, well, I dropped my friend home, so, you know, a friend who I am in contact with. Have I cut this? Oh, look. Hadn't realised that was double layered. What a wally. So, right, pop that like that. So, that must be double layered as well. Right, okay. Yeah, so I had met my friend and her friend, also my friend, but, you know, I'm not such good friends with the other lady, so they're very good friends, and you know, I just kind of don't really tend to see her unless I'm with the other friend, if you see what I mean. So yeah, I went to, you know, my friend's house, and so the other lady, she was already there, you know, getting dressed and getting ready. So yeah, that was really nice. And then obviously we all went together. So, I mean, I don't drink, so, you know, I just obviously drove. Not that you really had to drive, you know, because it wasn't miles away or anything. But yeah, I mean, I had to drive obviously, because it was 10 miles from me, but where my friend lives, it was only around the corner really to her house. But yeah, so I met them at her house, and then we all went together in the car. So that was really nice, because I didn't obviously have to like walk in on my own or anything. So that was good. And then we must have stayed there till, I mean, quite late, to be honest, like quite late for me, probably about 11:30. And then I dropped, you know, the first lady, so my first friend, dropped her home at her house, and then took my other friend home and dropped her to her house. And we just sat in the car then chatting and having a kind of natter, honestly, for about an hour. So I actually didn't get home until gone 12, which, I mean, that's like a really late night for me. I've said before about what an early bed person I am. So yeah, really, really, really late. And I didn't actually go to sleep until 1 o'clock in the morning, would you believe? By the time I, you know, left her, I mean, I don't know what time I actually did leave her, but yeah, we were in the car for an hour kind of chatting. And then by the time that I then drove home, you know, that was probably 15 minutes drive. And then, yeah, got home, you know, took my makeup off and things, got ready for bed. And then I don't know about you guys, but if I've been out, I need to kind of then just relax and sort of wind down for a bit before I can go to sleep. So although I was tired, if I just laid down to go straight to sleep, I'm kind of still buzzy and can't then sleep for a while. So, yeah, it just took me a while to kind of like, you know, wind down to get to sleep. So, yeah, I didn't actually go to sleep until pretty late, to be honest, about 1 o'clock. So, oh, crazy. And then yesterday morning, unfortunately, I still woke up at like 5:30, and I just thought, oh no, don't want to be getting up at 5:30. Thank goodness I did manage to actually get back to sleep, because yeah, I was not like wanting to obviously be awake at 5:30, having not gone to bed until, you know, till 1. So yeah, I did manage to go back to sleep, so that was good. So I had a sort of lazy day yesterday. My daughter had a sleepover at Natalie's house. So yeah, she was there and got up. I was doing some work, you know, kind of here in my craft room, obviously. And then my son got up. My other son's still on holiday. But yeah, my middle son, he got up, and then what did he do? Oh, we went to Costa. I'd phoned Natalie and said, what time would you like me to come and get my daughter, you know? And she said, oh, don't worry, because actually her son and, you know, my daughter, they were kind of like playing and, you know, hanging out and things like that. So she said, don't worry at the moment, because they're being pretty good. You know, I'll call you obviously if they deteriorate. But yeah, they were being quite good. So yeah, she said, oh, no panic, you know, just come and get them much later. So, or come and get her much later. So yeah, my son and I, we just went for a Costa, and then what did we do? We had to stop and get a few things from the shops, you know, sort of some dog food and things like that. And then came home. Like I say, the weather was not brilliant. So just kind of, well, I was hoping that we were going to be able to go in the garden, but no such luck. It was definitely not garden weather. So yeah, we didn't go in the garden. Just came home, and I think I did a bit more work. And then my son made his lunch, and then it was literally time to go and get my daughter. It was about 3:30 by then. So yeah, the day had kind of just flown by. I'd kind of squandered it, if I'm truthful, but it was because I'd obviously had a late night, and then I was just thrown out really a bit. So I was yeah, a bit lazy yesterday, but anyway, that's fine. And then went and got my daughter, and then my mum and dad were very kind and said, you know, that my mum had cooked a spaghetti bolognese, so would we like to stay and have some dinner there? So stayed and had dinner with them. I didn't have dinner, to be fair, because it was a meat spaghetti bolognese and I'm a vegetarian, so I didn't, but that was fine, because you know, it was quite early for me to have dinner anyway, because it was only about 5:30 and I like to eat a bit later than that. So yeah, anyway, that was quite nice. And then we, you know, we just came home. So yeah, although it was a lazy day, it was a nice day. So yeah, had a nice time with my son. It's my middle son. He's going to be 18 in August. So I've been on at him for ages now. You know, come on, let's think of what we want to do for your 18th. My oldest son, bless him, he's 21 now, but on his 18th, I did feel sorry for him because, right, we've done all of the paper clips, sorry, now. So I'm just going to line them out, and we're going to kind of decorate them up now with some of the trims and things like that. So, you know, whereas often in the mass making we don't really decorate, we just do the base pieces, we're actually going to complete all the paper clips. So just going to lay them out like this, and we'll do a few at a time. So okay, let's put those out. So see if I want to have this or anything, only because this is now here, so it's kind of quite handy to actually use what's already out, isn't it? So yeah, my oldest son, bless him, I mean, he's 21 now, but when he was 18 on his 18th, it was the lockdown. It was, you know, it was during COVID. So I feel really mean because he did nothing really for his 18th. Well, he couldn't, you know, because obviously nowhere was open. You know, you weren't allowed out. It was still, you know, still that strict lockdown. So yeah, oh, there was a paper clip there, look, missed one. So yeah, we couldn't really do anything for his. So I feel really mean now, kind of saying to my other son, you know, what should we do? You know, must do something for your 18th. And my oldest son, I'm like, oh gosh, you know, we didn't do anything for yours. I mean, not that I obviously had the conversation in front of him because he's on holiday, but I'm obviously well aware that we didn't really do much for his. But, you know, it was just one of those things. We couldn't, because obviously you weren't, you know, you weren't allowed to be doing anything at that point. So yeah, but I just feel a bit mean because I think, oh, bless him, he kind of missed out. But anyway, I'm sure he doesn't mind, because actually we did speak to him yesterday because he's flying back today. And we did speak to him yesterday, and I said, oh, I've been on at your brother, you know, what he'd like to do for his 18th. Whoops. And then, you know, my oldest son, he kind of said, oh, what did I do for mine? And I laughed and said, well, do you remember it was lockdown? I said, and we just did like one of those not indoor, but, you know, it was an online escape room because there wasn't anything to do. You know, we couldn't even go to a pub or anything. And, you know, I don't even think we could go out to eat. I'm just trying to think. I don't think we could go out to eat. So we must have just got like a load of food and, you know, did literally nothing. But yeah, but he laughed and he just said, oh, who cares, it's, you know, it's only birthdays anyway. So he obviously not really too bothered by the fact that he didn't really do anything, because I'd felt really mean. I thought, oh gosh, that's awkward, we didn't really do anything for yours. But anyway, so I said to him, oh, I keep on at your brother, what, you know, what does he want to do for his birthday? And he's being very non-committal. And he's always a bit like that, my middle son. He kind of always is like, oh, I don't know. And then before you know it, suddenly his birthday's here and it's like, well, now we're doing nothing. You know, I wish you'd committed to something, because, you know, I feel bad now. So I hope it doesn't really go like that again. Right. Just layering up these little bits. I wasn't really intending on gluing that one down yet, because I was going to be, you know, trying to sort of mass makey gluing down at the same time, but I wanted to extend that one because I'd cut the fabric a little bit short, if you remember. So yeah, oh, that's quite nice on there, isn't it? And also on here, although on this one I might put it at the bottom just to shake things up a bit. So I'm just going to cut that sort of header piece off of there. Yeah, anyway, so I keep saying, oh, what do you want to do? And so yesterday, you know, while we were having our Costa, we were kind of like, you know, well, what should we do? And again, looking at things, you know, like when you get the experiences and all of those kinds of things. So again, for my oldest son, it was his 21st on New Year's Eve, and I bought him a flight, which he did a couple of weeks ago. If you watch my channel, you'll have heard me talking about it a couple of weeks ago. He did like I don't know whether it was a half an hour, might have been half an hour flying lesson thing. So yeah, he did that. And so we were looking at those kinds of experiences and seeing whether there were any, you know, that would appeal to my son. But yeah, he's kind of just being non-committal. And then I said to him, you know, the thing is, it will suddenly be your birthday and you'll have planned nothing. And then we'll end up sort of, you know, everything will be booked and we won't be able to do anything. So he's like, oh, I know, you know, I am giving it some thought. But yeah, he's not come up with anything so far. So we shall see. It's hard to know, isn't it, what to do for big birthdays like that, really, isn't it? And yeah. And of course, there were one or two things, but they were quite grown-up things. And I said, you know, your sister wouldn't be able to come on those. So, but I mean, ultimately, obviously, it's his birthday. And if you know, if he wants to do something then more grown up, then, you know, of course he can do that. Or, you know, we can do that. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we shall have to keep on looking and thinking. But it is hard to, I'm suddenly thinking now I'm going to go with this colour on here. Don't know why, but maybe I could even layer it with the pink. Let's see. Yeah, it's quite hard to think of things to do for like 18th birthdays, I think. And invariably, I mean, they're often disappointing, aren't they? They're not as fun as you hope. I mean, to be honest, I can't really even remember what I did on my 18th birthday, because my son said, what did you do on yours? And I said, I can't really remember. All I can remember is the company that I worked for at the time, they had like their AGM, you know, like their annual general meeting the day of my 18th. And it was kind of quite cool because they shut the office. I think there were about, might have been about 300 people work for that company. And yeah, they shut the whole office for the afternoon, and they'd hired out a sort of like a venue out in the country. So quite a nice venue. And, you know, obviously it was the annual general meeting, but there was also a lunch, you know, with quite nice food. It was like a buffet lunch. I can remember the lunch. And we all, you know, went there by coach and stuff. So yeah, that was kind of quite cool because it just happened it was on my birthday. So that was quite nice. But I don't remember what I did in the evening, strangely enough. So yeah, who knows? Maybe I didn't do a lot. I can't really remember. And obviously, because it was on a weekday, like I said, I'd been at work. So maybe I didn't do anything really in the evening. I honestly can't remember. But anyway, so yeah, he was like, oh, what did you do? Not sure. Can't remember. So yeah, it wasn't really a great deal of help with inspiration, but leave that there. Right, let's have a look at my trims and things that we've got here. So like I say, if you get one of these little packs, You're going to just have, you know, any kinds of trims. Oops, I can't guarantee, you know, what trims you're going to have because all the packs are different. Oh, that's lovely on there, isn't it? All the packs are different, but hopefully you'll get, you know, maybe some of these things, maybe some different things. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you'll get some nice things that you do think are lovely and pretty to use. Oh, let's have this flower on there. So these flowers, I always just take off the plastic. Oops, take off the plastic and then use them. Oh my goodness. Use them like that without the plastic. So yeah, could have that on there or maybe further down. Not sure now. Also had these bigger flowers, which, yeah, let's see. Well, that's weird. I thought I had a blue one, but no. Oh, suddenly spotted there. So yeah, let's put this on. So anyway, yeah, I don't know what we're going to really do for his birthday, but no doubt I will be talking about that for the next few weeks whilst it's leading up to it, you know, whilst I'm trying to. Oh my goodness, I love that on there. That looks so pretty, doesn't it? Okay. Oh my goodness, what a gorgeous paperclip. How lovely does that look? Absolutely love it. Right, let's put that one out of the way. Do we want anything else on there, or shall I? Oh, I'll just put that one out of the way. Yeah, anyway, so you'll hear me, I'm sure, chatting about it. So other than that, what else have I been up to? What have I been watching? So I watched something called Angela Black on Netflix. So one of my gym friends, she had recommended it to me. And yeah, I've binge watched that. So I've already completed it. I think it only had about six episodes or something. And it was another one of those things that, you know, I kind of would watch like a couple of episodes and invariably end up falling asleep through the second episode. So I kept having to rewatch like an episode, you know. But yeah, that was quite good. So I just finished that last night. It was quite good. It was this woman and she has this quite a controlling husband, you know. And yeah, it was good. Won't kind of tell you all the twists and turns because I don't want to spoil it, obviously, if you're going to watch it, but I enjoyed it. Just wondering whether I could have this under, like coming out from under there, or would I prefer it on top? No, I quite like it under, I think. So again, just going to put the fabric tack on here. Oops. There we go. Oh, come on. Like that. Okay. Yeah, so that was good. And then another friend of mine at the gym has recommended something called, I thought he said night crawler, but actually he said the night caller. The night caller. He's just started watching that. I think he said he'd watched 2 so far and he said that's quite good. So I haven't obviously watched any of that, you know, so I wouldn't like to say that it is really good because obviously I haven't seen it. But yeah, he said he's enjoyed it so far. I love that with the lace coming out beneath it. That's very pretty, isn't it? So yeah, that's another recommendation. Just trying to think. We haven't been to the cinema this week. There was nothing on again, which is like really annoying. There's constantly nothing on at the cinema. Just have to pull this tight. Yeah, constantly nothing on at the cinema, to be honest. I mean, I know it's not really cinema season, is it, in the summer, but it's disappointing anyway. We were going to go and watch The Fall Guy, which is with the Ryan Gosling and was Emily Blunt there? I'm not sure whether it was Emily Blunt, to be honest. I might be making that up. I feel like it might have been, but yeah, might be making that up. But Ryan Gosling, I've heard not great things about that film, and to be honest, we watched the trailer and it didn't really look all that good. But you know, hey, it might have been really good, and maybe I'm just, you know, being a bit negative. But yeah, haven't heard great things about it. So I heard that it was just very slow. So yeah, I mean, often they don't put films on in the summer, do they? Because they assume everyone's going to be outside in the nice weather. Obviously, so far it's not panned out like that here, because the weather's, of course, not been very nice. I think I might just leave that with the bow, but that's a pretty one, isn't it? Okay. Got some flower trims. Oh my goodness, that's a lovely one. Yeah, love that. That's very pretty. Wonder if I should have some flowers on here. No, not those. Oh, I've got another one of those flowers. Could have that one up there. Let's do that. There we go. So, and on Friday night, Natalie went to, so we live near a place called Goodwood, which is where, of course, I've rented my house out, you know, for the racing, you know, the car racing events that they have there. So there's also a horse racing track there, and they have these, you know, well, obviously horse racing days, but in the summer they have this like event called 3 Friday nights. So on Friday just gone, it was the first of this year's 3 Friday nights, and I've never been to one before, but my friend and I were talking about going, and anyway, we couldn't get tickets, unfortunately, because on the Friday just gone, I'm just going to move this one out of the way as well because that one's complete. On the Friday just gone, they have like obviously a DJ, you know, and they have these music events, and the DJ on the Friday just gone was Craig David, and I love Craig David, honestly, just, yeah, love him. So I would have really liked to have gone, but yeah, I couldn't get a ticket. They were sold out pretty quickly for his. So the other two, there's one like this Friday and one the following Friday. Of course, you know, they've still got full availability. I think this Friday it's Gok1. So to me, Gok1 is that one who does like 10 years younger and those fashiony type programs, like makeover programs on TV. I know he is a DJ. I haven't personally, you know, I don't know what he does, you know, as a DJ. Yeah, I don't know, but I think he's supposed to be a, you know, a good DJ, but yeah. So he is this Friday night. So who knows, maybe, you know, maybe we'll be able to get tickets for this Friday, but yeah, so far we're kind of like, shall we, shan't we? And it's such a shame because I would have really liked to have gone to the Craig David one, but anyway, Natalie was lucky and she did get tickets, so she went on Friday. And yeah, she said it was good, but again, you know, disappointing because the weather obviously wasn't that nice. So when she showed me the photos, you know, I said, oh, you're wearing your coat still, you know, and she said it just wasn't that warm, you know, which is a shame, isn't it? Because if you're going to kind of things in the summer, obviously, really, in an ideal world, you'd be hoping that it's going to be nice and warm, aren't you? But yeah, she said, oh, it just wasn't really that warm. So it's a bit of a shame because obviously, you know, all the girls, they're kind of like wearing their lovely dresses and lovely outfits, you know. And of course, then, you know, you're having to then put a jacket on over them, which is a bit of a shame. So, yeah, just a shame. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. Right, let's have a look now. Now, I'm thinking I might have to do... Oh, that's quite nice. I might have to do... oh, no, look how short I've cut that. What an idiot. Oh, honestly. Oh, I'll have to keep that for something else now. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to have to do that little side strip again on here because I have made that very small. So if I just cut this down, kind of hook this on beside there, you know, otherwise I've got a lot of paper clips showing. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but oh, I can't see now what's the right way and the wrong way of the lace. Oh, I think this is the right way. Oops. Oh, come on, my gosh. you haven't been to anything like that, you know, obviously like nightclubs or any of those kinds of things like for years, you know, because obviously where I was married for, you know, 22 years, you know, I didn't really do things like that. So, yeah, kind of seems a bit funny to be going, you know, we were even talking about going to something like that now, but I mean, it would be best if we could get like a bunch of us going, but yeah, so far it's just kind of me and my friend. So it's a male friend, you know, from the gym, but we're just mates. But yeah, it would be better obviously if there were a bunch of us, because I think it would be more fun. I did mention it to both my sons. So my middle son, he said he wouldn't mind going. And my eldest son, he was kind of like, no, Mum, no. I think he's like, no, that would just be embarrassing. Why would I want to go to something like that with my mum? I was like, well, you know, we don't have to hang around together. But just, you know, so there's a bunch of us and it's a bit more exciting. But, yeah. Okay. Oh, gosh, why is this not... Oops, why is this not sticking down, I wonder? It's weird, isn't it? Maybe I didn't put glue on that end after all, I'm not sure now. Anyway, let's put that like that. And then I think on this one I might have a little bit of that ivory lace going across. That's quite pretty. You could even have it in the middle. Something like that. Don't know whether I now need to take this down a bit at this edge. Oh, how am I going to cut that past the paperclip? Oh dear. Oh well, never mind. Never mind. It's all fine. Like that. And then just, yeah, maybe have this kind of hanging down that middle strip. There we go. Okay. Oh, and I just want to say a massive thank you to anyone who, you know, obviously purchased the packs last week that I put up for the mask making. So, yeah, I really appreciate your support, and I hope that you all, you know, really enjoyed using your, you know, papers and things. And obviously, if you bought the accessory packs, that you enjoyed using those as well. Yeah, really do appreciate that. And, you know, I hope that you're enjoying kind of the mask makings with the little packs. You know, I know, like I said, I've had feedback, you know, from a few people who've said that they find that really handy. And yeah, hope that you're finding it handy if you have purchased any of the things. And like I say, I mean, it is my plan eventually to get kind of my digis and things on my shabbydabbydoodah.co.uk website. It's quite a mammoth task to obviously convert them across there. But yeah, I mean, hopefully eventually I will get to a point where I will be putting things on there. It's obviously quite time consuming and things to actually be able to do that. So until I kind of get sort of a bit more time, I'm not sure when I'll be doing it. But yeah, eventually that is the plan, is to obviously have things on there generally. Because obviously that's, yeah, the Etsy fees are obviously pretty, you know, they're quite extortionate now, aren't they? So I don't know whether it's because, like, you know, when you're selling just very cheap things, you know, you pay like not the entrance fee, what's it called? The listing fee. So once you've paid the listing fee and then the finishing fees, yeah, the selling fees, I mean, it works out kind of, you paid a third in fees. And, you know, maybe obviously if you were selling quite expensive things, maybe it wouldn't really be like that, because obviously you wouldn't have paid, well, you would have still paid the 20 cents kind of listing fee, but I mean, that wouldn't be a very big chunk of what you've sold. But when you're selling things for just £1 or £2, straight away, you know, 20 cents on like $2 is like a, you know, that's 10% of the cost kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, we shall see. But it is the plan to eventually kind of like have more and more things on my website. So right, just deciding. Yeah, I think I might have this one here, to be honest. Maybe there. Yeah. Oops, there we go. Oh, I like that one. That's very, very pretty. Whoops, very pretty. Okay. So, I mean, these are quite productive, aren't they? Because, you know, we're going to have an abundance of, like, yummy, lovely things then already in our stash. You know, I love having ready-made stuff, you know, just all ready to use. That's quite nice up there. Or, oh, actually, just thinking maybe one of these bows would go really nicely. Oh, yeah, that's pretty, isn't it? Oops. Okay. Oops. Just burnt my finger a little bit. Not too bad. Okay, we'll finish these couple. Oops, I've got like a little gem here. So, I mean, again, you know, I know I keep saying this, but yeah, you won't necessarily get the things that I've got shown here, but you will get, you know, I'm sure you'll get some of these things, but, you know, you might not get the exact same things that I've got here. You won't get the exact same fabrics or the exact same trims, but you'll get, I'm sure, some and some. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully you're going to get lots of things that you can have fun with. Oh, I'm just wondering whether I might want to put some lace coming out beneath that as well. You know how we did on that other one? Kind of some hanging out the bottom. Oh my goodness. I love the colour of this lace, don't you? It's so pretty. Absolutely love it. Really, really, really pretty. Okay. Oh, I don't know now. I quite like it with, but actually I don't mind it without probably. So yeah, perhaps I'll leave it like that. What do we want to put on this one? Just see, maybe that. Okay. Oh, actually, just before I do, just got a couple of pink flowers. Wonder if we might prefer those. Quite nice, aren't they? Okay, so I'm thinking maybe just a couple of pink flowers instead. Oops, maybe that side. Oh yeah, that looks pretty, doesn't it? I will try and put some paperclip packs on my website as well today. So yeah, there would hopefully then be one or two of these maybe in each pack, because I'm pretty sure that the paperclip packs have run out at the moment. So, but yeah, hopefully by the time that this video goes up tomorrow, I'll have put some more paperclip packs on there. So yeah, keep your eyes out if you're wanting a paperclip pack on my shop. Let's just see about that. Oh my goodness, that's pretty on there, isn't it? Yeah, really do like that on there. What did I do with that black lace? Can't see it anywhere now. I don't know whether I've dropped it on the floor or whether I just can't see it. I've got this pretty blue, so let's just take some of this down. Okay. Oh, I felt so bad this morning. So little Bo, my daughter had put her in the garden, and you know, she's always wherever I am, and I was putting my makeup on, and I thought, oh, that's weird. I haven't really seen Bo like for ages, and you know, she's under the cover on my bed. I thought, that's weird. I wonder where she is. Oh, poor thing, she was still in the garden, and I couldn't really hear her because my daughter was like making noise with her phone. It's not a working phone, but you know, she just has one of those phones with a SIM card that she can obviously just like talk to her friends and stuff. So I could just hear her on her phone, and just, you know, she has this irritating like alarm thing going off, so I could just hear that. So of course I couldn't really hear Bo, and then suddenly I heard like a bark, and I thought, hang on a minute, is Bo in the garden? Sure enough, she was out in the garden. So obviously my daughter had put her out in the garden and then forgot, and just she was still out there. So she'd been out there for about 10 minutes, which you know, that's ages for Bo, because she's normally out there for like literally 2 seconds, you know. I mean, sometimes she goes out and she looks like she's about to go, you know, for a wee or whatever. And then she notices that she can't see you anymore through the kitchen window. So she comes running back, you know, she doesn't even want to be out there to even have her wee, you know, which is a bit naughty, I must say. But yeah, so she definitely, you know, she doesn't like kind of being out there if you're not there. So I thought, oh, bless her, she's been out there now for ages. You know, like I say, I mean, it was probably about 7 minutes or something. But yeah, you know, to her, that would have been ages. So I did feel bad. Yeah, really bad. Right, I'm just having a look. Let's just take this sari silk down a little bit in, whoops, in width. Because I'm wondering if we could like ruffle that on there. Maybe we'll do that. Oh, I wonder if we should ruffle some on here, to be honest. I mean, that's quite a Laurie choice, isn't it, on here? But what do we think? Oh, that does look quite nice. Right, let's have a go, shall we? So let's just put the lace down on these bits. So I have a little bit of lace here. Okay. Yeah. Oh, don't dogs just pull on your heartstrings, honestly. Don't know what it is about them, but they're just so sweet and so innocent, aren't they? That, yeah, it just kind of broke my heart to think, oh no, she's been outside for like 7 minutes wondering where I am. You know, because I mean, 7 minutes probably felt like ages to her, didn't it? I don't know whether she'd actually been like barking. I mean, I heard her obviously in the end, but you know, I don't think she must have been barking for very long, because I would have heard her. She's got quite a loud bark, but yeah, so she must have not really been barking, but I just felt really bad then. It's like, oh no, Bo. Of course, then had to let her in and make a lot of fuss of her, you know. Oh, I love you, I love you. Oh, I'm so sorry you was outside. I mean, she must have just been laughing, thinking, oh my goodness, I have got you wrapped right round my little finger. I've only been out there for like 5 minutes and already you're like, oh, Bo, I'm so sorry. Yeah. But they just get you like that, don't they, dogs? They're, I think just because they're so loving. So loving. Yeah, just love her so much, honestly. Now, I know this is kind of like, you know, lots of mixture of colours, but I mean, I quite like that. But I mean, sometimes I just think, oh, I can be a bit too brave, and then sort of regret it and think, oh, what was I thinking with that one? I'm actually wondering whether if I have this and then the sari silk. It's quite nice, isn't it? Let's do that. So I'm just going to put this lace down here like that. I'll trim that out now at the edge, and hopefully we've got lots of nice different looks here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the schools will be breaking up soon, won't they? I mean, obviously my daughter only just went back from half term yeah, last week. Just suddenly thought, was it last week or the week before? Yeah, last week. But I mean, actually, they've only got a few weeks now before it's, you know, summer holidays. I mean, not that you'd know it from the weather. Absolutely rubbish. Okay. So just cut this down. Just cut it off here as well. There we go. Oh, cute. Cute, cute. Now, do we want to have any ruffled at the bottom, or is that strange? Oh my goodness. Love how that looks. Right, so let's put a bit more sari silk at the bottom. Let me know what you think to this one, because this one's a bit Laurie, isn't it? It's a bit of an eclectic thing going on with this. So let me know what you think. Do you think it's a winning Laurie-ness or appalling? Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I just had to cough and splutter. I think I've been obviously doing too much talking, and suddenly I just had this really bad frog in my throat and couldn't clear it. Right. Where do we want the bow is the question. Maybe here. Oops. Okay. There we go. Oh, how cute does that look? Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Okay, yeah, I mean, that one's very different, isn't it? Let me know. What do you think to that? Do you think that's like a bit in your face, or do you think that's quite nice? I think it's nice sometimes to do something really different, isn't it? You know, it's easy to be boring and sort of just do the same old stuff all the time. Oops. Oh my goodness. I'm covered in glue threads now. So yeah, this is a very, very glue thready operation. These paper clips. So be warned, if you are using a hot glue, you may well get covered in hot glue threads like I am. Okay. Just wondering if we could extend this with a bit of lace at the bottom as well. Might be a bit weird, but we'll just see. Oops. Quite like them with those like extended bottoms, to be honest. They're quite nice, aren't they? Okay. Yeah, I haven't even seen any trailers, to be honest, coming on for anything at the cinema. They're literally, well, I've not been to the cinema for several weeks, so I mean, I guess I wouldn't have seen any trailers because I've not been there, but yeah, not seen any on the telly or anything, so that's a bit disappointing. Hope I'm not missing out on something good. I mean, I do keep looking at the listings, you know, to see if there's anything on. I think the last thing I watched was that film Challenges. Yeah, pretty sure that was the last film I watched. Which, I mean, that was quite good. I think that's still showing, you know, not like masses of showings, but I think it's still got a few showings a day going on. Quite like that, actually. I'm going to put this on. Oh, stop it. Yeah, and that was with that very, very pretty girl. What's her name? Her name begins with Z anyway. You know, like Madonna, where people just have one word as their name. That was her name. Not Madonna, but yeah, just a one word name. I wish I could think what it was, but anyway, very, very pretty girl. Let's have that one on there. Okay. Oops. There we go. Right. Oops. Okay, and then just snip that one out. So yeah, I mean, if you obviously, you know, purchase one of these packs, you're definitely going to have enough to make 20, you know, 20 paper clips, because you've obviously got 20 of the paper clips. But I've got quite an abundance of things left. So, you know, you're going to have fabric left over, and you're going to have, you know, pieces left over to be able to obviously make other things as well. So, yeah. But you're going to have a minimum of 20 paper clips, and then obviously, you know, be able to make other things with your leftover embellishment pieces and your leftover fabrics. It's always quite fun if you can buy like a complete thing, you know, to be able to make something, rather than have to kind of add your own bits or, you know, buy extra bits, isn't it? So yeah, hopefully you'll like the, you know, the selection that I've kind of gathered together, really. Oh, now I'm like, just check that I'm putting this the right way around. That, and actually, that's quite nice there. It's so tough to decide sometimes. Okay, and then where's my trim? Okay. 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 Oops. Sorry, I've got so many glue threads now that it's literally as soon as I'm touching anything, it's all sticking on me. So I'm so sorry about this. Hang on a second. Let me just get some of those glue threads off over the bin. Because otherwise I'm literally, smothered in them. Which, oh gosh, look, they're just all over me. Okay. So I have something like this for this one. Okay. Oops. Just that bow. Oh my goodness, come on. Stop it. Okie dokie. Come on. Yeah, like that. It's pretty. And then, okay, just these two left. Oops, these two left to go. I'm just going to pop this down with the hot glue just for speed. I wonder if I could just ruffle this up a bit. It was kind of ruffling a bit anyway, so yeah. Just trim it out at the edge. Otherwise it's like huge compared to the paperclip. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, right, it's that one. And then this one. So what shall I do on these? Just see. Oh, so sorry. I'm still trying to get all these threads off quickly while I'm looking through the bits that I've got here. I'm still trying to obviously flick off the glue threads because they're really annoying. Yeah, that's pretty, isn't it? And then I wonder whether I could have the bow as well. Yep, that's quite nice. Oops. And pop the bow down. I mean, wow, what a productive hour that we've had, haven't we? Because even though I obviously lost one of those paper clips, so I'm one down, I must have made 19. So yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I love it when you can make loads of things, you know, and add to your stash like that. It's really great, isn't it? It leaves you feeling like really good about it, doesn't it? You know, it's like very productive. Okay. Perhaps we'll have this one on here because it's got obviously the red flower. So I'm thinking just tie the red in. Oops. Yeah, something like that. Okie dokie. This one. Oops. Like that. Okay. I'm just wondering whether you could kind of double layer like some more fabric coming out. I don't know whether this will really kind of look very good, but yeah, I'm just wondering whether you could have had, like, say at the bottom, another bit of fabric. So let's just have a look. I just take this. Oh, never tried this before, but I'm just wondering whether, oh look, Oh, where's my iron when I need it? Yeah, definitely this needs to be ironed. But yeah, you could have kind of then had that sort of hanging out there to sort of elongate that. That would be really nice. It's a shame it's so screwed up. Let me put that there and try and get a bit that's not screwed up. Hang on. Ugh. Look, none of it was screwed up except for the one bit that I chose. So just typical. Right, let's get that out of the way. Just cut this down here. Okay, let's put that down there, and yeah, like layer it like this. Oh, I mean, how cool does that look? Love it. I wonder if, I don't know what it would look like, but let's just give this a try. Like, you know, if we had like a bit of lace in between the layers, a bit like a sort of rah-rah skirt here. That's quite cool, isn't it? Or we could have the same colour lace as what we've got at the top, which might be... I like both. Again, wish I was live so I could hear you guys and see what you think. Do you like the contrast, or do you think that's a bit... maybe that's a bit weird? So yeah, let's try this. So I'm just going to cut this down. I have got lace packs also on my website, so yeah, if you're, you know, fancying some lace, then I have lace packs in there at the moment. I also did say that I was going to have more trim packs. I have got the trim packs, I just honestly haven't had time to put them together yet, so they are definitely going to be coming. It's just, yeah, it's just a case of having time to put them together, so they will be there very soon, but they might not be there quite yet. Right, let's put this down here like this. Okie dokie. So put that there, and then just take the whole lot and trim it down so it's, oh my goodness, so it's level here on the side, so like that one. And then this one here, like that. Oh my goodness, isn't that gorgeous? Love how that looks. I'm just going to trim it up here because it's a bit wonky. There we go. Oh, I love that. I haven't ever done that before, where you just kind of extend the length of it, but that just works really nicely, doesn't it? So yeah, let me know, what do you think to that? Do you like that whole, you know, extension of there? And you can see on the back, it's, you know, it's all kind of quite snug together on the back. So yeah, it works really, really nicely, doesn't it? Love that. I might just quickly glue this down slightly more just across here. Otherwise it felt a little bit disjointed, but there we go. Oh, that's gorgeous. Right, let's just pull in all the ones that we've done. So I'm going to pull in a piece of paper and clip them on to the paper. Whoops. Right, okay, let's clip them around and see how these look. So we have got 1, 2, I best do this one last because that glue's obviously quite wet on the back. 2. I'm not going to get many around here, am I? Because these banner paper clips take up quite a bit of room. Let's just, yeah, 1, 2. Okay. 3. I thought, oh, this is where I discover I've put them all the same direction. Terrible for always doing them, you know, the same handed, right-handed or left-handed, whichever way you describe it. Oh, yeah, they are now. Run out of paper already because I've put them all similar directions. Right, okay, so we're gonna have to just improvise because I'm not going to be able to put them around because they're mainly facing them the same way, I think. There we go. So we've got 3 there, 3 there, 3 there. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I don't know what's happened to the other one, but Yeah, it's buried under something, obviously, or maybe I lost another paperclip somewhere along the way. So we've done 18, but that's still pretty good going, isn't it? So yeah, let me know what you think, which one you maybe like best. And yeah, I hope that you have fun. Hope you feel inspired. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video. I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up, and have a fantastic day, everyone. Thanks then. Bye.